My husband's name is Mark. That's not his real name. His real name is Daniel. No one calls him that. Everyone calls him Mark. I don't know why. Maybe because he looks like a Mark, you know?
I'm Mark.
He doesn't look like a Daniel. I don't think there's any Daniel I know that looks like him. But anyway, my husband, Mark, works in finance. He's really good at what he does. He's probably one of the best in his field. Honestly, he could have been anything he wanted to be, but he chose finance. That's what he likes. I never tried to change him or suggest that he do something else. It was always okay for me. It was always fine. I mean, he didn't make that much money at first, but he always worked hard, very hard. And even when we were dating, he told me he would rather work than spend time with me. And I understood it was always like that with him. And I just knew that one day he would get somewhere. And now he works in one of the best banks in the world. We met in college. He wasn't popular, he wasn't smart, but he was pretty, so girls liked him. I wasn't the only girl he dated. In fact, he had a reputation for being a player, the kind of guy who just dates everyone and breaks their hearts. So naturally, I thought he would just break mine too. But no, I didn't care. I still went after him. I liked him. I wanted to be with him, even though I knew he would break my heart. He broke many hearts, but somehow he came crawling back to me. I don't know why, but he did. And then I got pregnant, and he seemed to want to settle down. I remember he looked so old when he told me that. He literally looked older. His hair was greasier, his eyes were duller, he seemed tired all the time. I thought maybe this is how it feels to be a grown-up, and I got scared. I remember throwing up in the sink and crying. And he was standing behind me, holding my hair and stroking my back. He was so gentle and so loving. I didn't think anyone could ever love me like that. And I knew that I loved him. I knew I did. But when he held me like that, it was like I knew it for sure. I know it may sound crazy, but I think I fell in love with him because of the way he made me feel invisible. Most guys want to look after their girlfriends, take care of them, spoil them, make them feel important. My dad did that with my mom. All my life, I saw how much attention he paid her, how he always looked after her, how he always listened to her. And when I grew up, I wanted that too. I wanted someone to make me feel that way, and Mark did. He let me fade away into the background. He never asked me what I wanted or what I needed. He never cared. And that's why when we had our son, I felt lost. I put all my energy into being a good mother. I cooked, I cleaned, I gave up on my job. And he never said anything. He never said, "Hey, you're giving up on your dreams for me." He never said that. Sometimes I hated him for that, But mostly I just felt sorry for myself. I knew I was doing it to myself. It was my choice. But still, I can't help but feel a little resentment towards him. He was never around. And even when he was, we barely talked. I was a ghost in our own house. I remember sitting in the kitchen peeling potatoes and crying. We were having dinner guests that night, so I wanted to make sure everything was perfect. I remember thinking, what am I doing here? Why am I here? What does Mark see in me? I was never pretty or funny or interesting. There's nothing special about me. And I knew he was cheating. I knew he was cheating. It was obvious, but I never confronted him. I was too afraid to. I couldn't risk losing him. Even though we were married, he was still the one. He was still the one I loved. The one I thought I loved. So, yeah, I had 2 kids with him. Our daughter was born 3 years after our son. And by then I felt like I'd completely given up. I wasn't even trying anymore. When I found out I was pregnant with our daughter, I actually wanted an abortion. I didn't want another baby. I thought I didn't want to have more children, but Mark convinced me to keep her, and I did. I actually stopped working after she was born. What was the point? I wasn't getting any younger, and Mark wasn't around, so I just gave up. I gave up on everything. And then he died. One night I was lying in bed trying to sleep, but I couldn't. So I got up and went to the kitchen. It was 3 a.m., and I remember standing there looking out of the window. I could see the street lights and the cars passing by, and I thought, what's the point? What's the point of anything? There's no point. And suddenly I started crying. I cried and cried and cried, and then I heard a knock on the door. I didn't answer. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I just wanted to be left alone. Then I heard Mark's voice. He was standing outside and he was calling my name. I remember thinking, oh, he's drunk again. And then he knocked again, and he called me again, and I finally got up and opened the door. And that's when he fell on me. He hugged me tightly and kept saying, "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't want to live anymore. I don't want to live anymore." And I remember thinking, oh God, he's drunk. But then he pulled away and he took me in his arms and he kissed me. I don't know what came over me. I kissed him back. It was like I forgot everything. I forgot all the pain, all the anger, all the sadness. It was like none of that ever happened. I just felt alive again. Then he whispered in my ear and told me he had cancer. He'd known for a long time, but he didn't want to tell me. He was afraid to, he didn't want to lose me. But I think he already had lost me. I mean, I was there, but I wasn't there. And when he died a month later, I didn't cry. I mean, I knew it was coming, but I didn't cry. And I know people say, you never move on from losing a spouse, but I did. I moved on. It was like I never really stopped moving on from him. In a way, he saved me. I don't know if I could have done it without him. I don't know if I could have found him if I hadn't been so desperate. But I did find someone else. And this is the weird part. This is the weird part. He looks exactly like Mark. He has the same hair, the same eyes, the same lips. He even has the same small birthmark on his chest. And I know it sounds crazy, but I think Mark sent him to me. I really do. I think Mark sent him to me. I was so lost and so broken. I honestly didn't think anyone could ever love me again, but he did, and I loved him back. I mean, I know it sounds wrong. I know Mark isn't supposed to be with someone else, but he is. He's with someone else, and I'm fine with that. Fine with it. I mean, I am. I truly am.